What's up, Flying Squad? Welcome to another Flying Brian Show album review. This time we're going to talk about the latest from Killswitch Engage called Incarnate, released March 11th, 2016. Clocks in at 53 minutes, 22 seconds, a total of 15 tracks. Obviously, we're talking about the deluxe version today. I'm going to just kind of glaze over my feelings on the record as a whole, and then I'll give you a recommendation, not recommended, or recommended with some caveats toward the end of the video. Before we get into it, please give the video a thumbs up if you think it's not shitty, or if you like the content actually, and also subscribe to the channel. My goal for thumbs up on this video is going to be 11. So, okay, this album starts off with Alone I Stand, and it really sets a fist-clenching tone for the entire record. It builds in intensity, starts off with some deeper drums, leading into Hate by Design. This track has some pretty fun moments. This is a theme that's going to go throughout the entirety of the record. There are times where Jesse Leach reminds me of Howard Jones. So basically what I'm saying is Leach occasionally uses some deeper tones in his cleaner singing voice. And yeah, that's a pretty great thing in my opinion. I know that I can listen to Howard Jones with his new band, but I really just love Howard Jones when he was with Killswitch Engage. That is when I think Killswitch was at their pinnacle, at their peak. And Jesse Leach isn't, bad, but I just miss that. And a lot of you are going to say, why can't you just enjoy the music how it is, man? Well, I'm not allowed to have an opinion. This is a critique. This is a critic video. So I think I'm going to have a fucking opinion. And I prefer me some Killswitch Engage with Howard Jones. I also am a fan of Killswitch with Jesse Leach, but let's move on. Cut Me Loose. Strength of the Mind. Strength of the Mind, I think, has the most memorable portion lyrically on the entire record. I've seen rock bottom, and I smashed my fist against it. It was pretty fantastic. That lyric really stuck with me. I think that it would stick with you as well. Like I said, perhaps the most memorable lyric on the entire album. Just Let Go. Embrace the Journey Unappraised. Now, track number 6, Embrace the Journey. It starts off with some bass guitar that normally, I really like the bass guitar out front, strutting its stuff, doing its damn thing, but it's not like a groove, it's kind of choppy, it seems. I'm not a music major or anything, but the bass at the beginning seems a little bit choppy, and the song as a whole kind of seems a little bit choppy. We're speaking of embracing the journey. I kind of don't know which direction, which path to take on this journey. Overall, the song has a lot that is involved in it, but it's just not put together in a fluid way, in my opinion. Perhaps this is your favorite song and you completely disagree with me, but this definitely was not my favorite song on the record. Quiet Distress. This is another song that leads us in one path and then deviates and gives us something completely different. It starts off with an acoustic guitar, and I was like, oh shit, we're about to get some acoustic metal. This is going to be interesting. But quickly, the acoustic guitar goes away, and then we just got the normal metalcore sound that we've come to know and perhaps love from Killswitch Engage until the day It Falls on Me. And It Falls on Me is extremely fun, I think. But I think that this song could have been way earlier on the record because until Embrace the Journey, everything was kind of in the same tone. Strength of the Mind is a little bit higher tempo than Cut Me Loose, but the album prior to track number 6 is really intense and it's fist clenching. But track number 9, It Falls on Me, has some really somber moments and lets us kind of unclench our fists. And that's why track number 9 was one of my favorites. Perhaps for you, it was at a perfect time, but I was getting tired of clenching my fists when it got to track number 9. Going to number 10 now. Talking about that bass guitar out there in front, strutting its stuff, doing its damn thing. The beginning of this song is fucking phenomenal because the bass guitar is doing just that. This guy, not only does he win stuff on The Price is Right, but he can play the fucking shit out of that bass guitar. I wish there was more songs on the album where he was really going after it. Track number 11, We Carry On. It's another kind of ballady song. It's symphonic metal in a sense, and it's toned down a little bit. And you're probably catching on now that my favorite songs on the record were ones that had a little bit toned down vibe, you know, chilled out a little bit. Maybe it's because of where I currently am in my life. Maybe it's because I want to be a Zen master, you know, with that namaste bullshit and whatnot. But we carry on. It falls on me. They're really chilled out songs. I enjoy them a lot. Ascension. Now this is the last song on the normal version of the record, not the deluxe version, and it's rather weak. There aren't too many portions that I want to pluck out of it that really stand out, but it's not intense, it's not calm, and it doesn't have any portions where you're like, holy shit, that's an amazing part right there. And if it were the last song on the album version that I got, I'd be kind of like, man, I really want some more songs, because that one just didn't finish me off, you know what I'm saying? Now, as always, what I've done with this record is listen to the damn thing over and over and over again. I've probably listened to all 15 songs in a row. I'm going to say like 15 times. Now you could think, Flying Brian, why can't you remember more specifics about it? Well, I don't know. Let's move on to track number 13, Reignite. Well, we're also going to go to track number 14, Triumph Through Tragedy. Those two songs, there's hardly any breaking point in between them. They really fit the mold of Incarnate and the metalcore vibe that we're going to get from this entire record. But one thing that interested me was, like I said, the two tracks almost have no break in them, and the tone, the vibe, the general feeling, you could think, wow, that's just one long track. Of course, most of the tracks on the record are around 4 minutes long, typical Killswitch Engage type of stuff. Loyalty, basically all I want to say about that one is that it really finishes the record off pretty darn well. So my feelings on the thing as a whole, I really liked that Jesse Leach sounded like Howard Jones occasionally. I liked that at the beginning it sounded like, wow, we're going to get the same tone, the same song basically through the whole thing. A lot of people like to give people like Disturbed shit that all of their songs sound exactly the same. And for a while on this record, and even after I had listened to it a couple of times, I was like, man, every song sounds almost the same. I really don't want to listen to it anymore. But the intensity level of the thing makes it very useful if you're trying to lift some weights, or if you're feeling intense and you just want to kind of get out some frustration via your ears listening to some music. This is really, really good for that. But I liked how there was some mix. I liked how that acoustic guitar on Quiet Distress, even though I was kind of pissed off that they were duping me into thinking we were about to get an acoustic metal song, but it wasn't the case. I still liked that acoustic guitar. I liked how on, I think it's Just Let Go, the beginning, there's some real clean guitar, and so that was a nice change up within the first 5 tracks. Basically what I'm saying is I liked how there was some deviance from the general mold of Killswitch Engage. It wasn't always just that intensity, and then I forget which one it was, one of the last 3 tracks, but Jesse Leach used some extremely growly and gritty vocals. So for the majority of the basic version of the album, I thought that we were seeing or hearing Jesse Leach at his most gritty the entire time. There was a nice mix of the grit with the clean, but there was one of the last 3 tracks on the deluxe version where he just really gets in some grit. And so that was fun as well. So the first few times I went through the record, I didn't enjoy it. Perhaps it was because I wasn't lifting weights, like I said. I wasn't intense. I was just kind of mellowed out, and I was trying to listen to it at nighttime. You know me, I like to lay on the floor, listen to the album, and I always listen to all of it with headphones because I feel like that is the best way to listen to the album. So speaking of that, the mix, at times I liked how they made the vocals seem kind of distant away from you, and then at times it was right up front. I like how at times the bass guitar was up front strutting its stuff. I wish that that would have happened more often on the record. A thing that I didn't like, I mentioned it when we were talking about the tracks individually, I really was not having fun with the jumbled, discombobulated portions where it seemed like it was about to be groovy, like, oh shit, let's get our groove on, but then all of a sudden it's like choppy, and I didn't like that type of thing. Perhaps you think I'm absolutely insane, and you might be right. I have never been clinically tested. So, would I recommend the record? If you're a Killswitch Engage fan, you've already listened to the damn thing, right? If you're a metalcore fan and you haven't listened to it, then absolutely pick up this fucking record, or at least get it on Spotify, iTunes Radio, your favorite streaming service, YouTube probably, and check it out. But if you're kind of lukewarm feeling toward metalcore or lukewarm feeling towards Killswitch Engage, and prior to this video you were unaware that the album was out, that they even had new music whatsoever, it's probably one that you can get by with skipping because, in my opinion, it's not one of the top albums of the year. I already reviewed Borknagar Winter Thrice, and you know, I'm kind of disappointed in my review of that album. It really deserved more from me. But to me, that record is head and shoulders the best album of 2016 so far. So it's head and shoulders above the rest of the competition. This album, Killswitch Engage Incarnate, does not hold a candle to Borknagar Winter Thrice. But like I said, Killswitch Engage fan, check it out. Metalcore fan, check the damn thing out. It does have some deviances from the metalcore scene, so if you're lukewarm on it, perhaps check it out, but I think that you're going to be fine if you skip this record. So let me know what you thought of Killswitch Engage Incarnate in the comment section down below. I really appreciate you making it to this point in the video. Once again, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe, but also below me here, I'm going to put some links to some other videos that I've done in the past, perhaps an album review, one of my UFC preview and prediction videos, and then also on your right, I'm going to put a link to a campaign that I'm doing where I'm selling some t-shirts to benefit this channel. They're Flying Squad t-shirts. They've got my logo on the front and also a hashtag on the back. I've got 4 colors of t-shirts, 4 colors of hoodies. I've got 4 colors of women's t-shirts as well, and then 1 baseball tee. It would just be phenomenal for me if you would check those out. I would really appreciate it, and I'll see you on my next video. Namaste.